Hello everyone, welcome to HSA English Quick Revision session number 5. So today we will complete our poetry section and step on to the drama section. Okay, so the next poem is This is a Photograph of Me by Margaret Atwood. It is a free verse and it came in her collection of poetry, The Circle Game, which was published in 1964. In that collection, you can see that it is a first poem. This is a photograph of me. It's the first poem in her collection, The Circle Game, which was published in 1964. So as I already said, it is a free verse. There is no rhyme scheme and it has 26 lines. There you can see there are 7 stanzas and total there are 26 lines. And again, this poem came in a book. This is a photograph of me, Girl and Horse. It's a book by Alan Cook and Margaret Atwood. It was published in 2009. Okay, so you can see this poem in another book with the title, This is a Photograph of Me, Girl and Horse, 1928. It is a book written by Alan Cook and Margaret Atwood, which was published in 2009. So you need to only think about The Circle Game. Okay, that was her collection of poetry, Margaret Atwood's collection of poetry, The Circle Game, which was published in 1964. And the first poem was This is a Photograph of Me. Now coming to the second poem, that is Africa, which is also known with its first line, Africa, My Africa, written by David Diop. It has 23 lines. There are no stanza breaks. It is a free verse without a fixed rhyme scheme or meter. It was first published in French. Okay, it was first published in French as Afrique. I don't know whether the pronunciation is right. Afrique. In his only collection of poetry, Cubes de Pylon. Cubes de Pylon, that means pounding, in 1956. So it came in French in 1956, and its English version, it was later published in English in a collection named Hammer Blows in 1973, which was translated and edited by Simon M. Pondo and Frank Johns. Okay, so yeah, so that's all about. It was first published in French, and in his David Diop's only collection, Cubes de Pylon. Okay, Cubes de Pylon in 1956. So this collection was published by Pan African Quarterly Literary Magazine, Presence Africaine. Okay, so there are so much to load in your brain. Okay, remember all these points. The next poem and the last poem of the poetry section is Aboriginal Australia, written by Jack Davis. It appeared in his book Jagardu, Poems from Aboriginal Australia. It is his second collection of poetry and it was published in 1978. The poem is also known with the first line, To the Others. Okay, it has total 32 lines are there. Okay, that's all about Aboriginal Australia. Now we are stepping into the drama section. So the first play is Macbeth by William Shakespeare. The full title is The Tragedy of Macbeth. It is his shortest tragedy. It was first performed in 1906 at Hampton Court, only for King James I. Okay, so the play was during the reign of King James I, and it was first, performed for him only at Hampton Court in 1606. Then it was publicly performed at Globe Theatre, London in 1611. Publicly performed in Globe Theatre in 1611. And it was published in, the book play was published in 1623 in folio. 1623 in folio. And the source of this play is Holinshed's Chronicles. Holinshed's Chronicles, which was published in 1587. The play is also known as the Scottish play. Okay, the Scottish play. So the setting is Scotland. Primarily the setting is Scotland, and in Act 4, Scene 3, you can see England also. Okay, the scene is taken in England. So the play has 5 acts, and it was written in 1606, 1607, and it was performed in that year itself, around 1606, 1607, for King James I, and it was publicly performed in 1611. The book was published in 1623. So do you know the name of the castle where Macbeth and his wife lived? And in that castle, the murder of Duncan happens. The name of the castle is Castle Inverness. Okay, and Castle Forres is the home of Duncan. Forres, Forres, Castle Forres. And Castle Fife, Fife, Castle Fife is the home of Macbeth. And in that castle, Macbeth murders Macduff's wife and son. So there is Castle Inverness, Castle Forest. Castle Inverness is Macbeth's, Castle Forest is Duncan's, and Castle Fife is Macduff's. Okay, it's a shortest tragedy of Macbeth, but there is a lot of things to take in. I'm just mentioning about the important points. You have to go through all the play, all the scenes, quotations very deeply. Now, our second play is School for Scandal, written by Richard B. Sheridan. It comes under the category of comedy of manners. It was first performed in London at Drury Lane Theatre on May 8, 1777. It was performed in 1777. The book was published in 1780. It has 5 acts, and the play gave Sheridan the title The Modern Congreve. The Modern Congreve. Okay, that's all for today's session. Hope you have enjoyed it. See you next time. Bye.